Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel, DramaJen. Before you get started watching any of my movie reviews or drama reviews, I want you to begin here for an overview, including the purpose for this channel, the reasons for its particular content and focus, and the general structure and format of each drama or movie analysis. Firstly, my purpose for creating this channel. My grandma was a beachcomber. She spent time when by a lake or an ocean with her head down, gathering up all the loveliness off the sand. Shells, Petoskey stones, agate, beach glass, funky-looking driftwood. Grandma just had an eye for the things that struck her as interesting and beautiful, and she lined them all up on shelves and windowsills and shared her found treasures with her family and friends and others so they could delight with her as well. So that's kind of the mindset I have going into this project. I want to line up my found treasures on the windowsill, so to speak, to give thanks and to be wonder-filled and to share them with all of you. I thought I would create a curated gallery of movies and dramas and some thoughts that I have about them. I've watched to date 300 in all. That's K-dramas, or Korean dramas, and movies, J-dramas, Japanese dramas and movies, Chinese dramas and movies, and Taiwanese dramas and movies as well. I'm proposing to curate, to go through and select certain particularly special dramas and movies to put up on the walls of the gallery, so to speak, so we can gaze at and appreciate them together. Now, why Asian dramas and movies, some may ask? Well, my entry point into this marvelous viewing world was actually through my daughter, who at the time was in high school and studying first Japanese and then later Korean languages. She's the one who encouraged me to join her in watching a K-drama called While You Were Sleeping. I admit that I was slow to respond to her request, but eventually I thought, this is going to be relational time with my daughter. I'll go ahead and do this, and then I'll be out. The 16-episode length of this drama was daunting to me, and I thought, there's no way I'm going to watch more. Well, once we got to the end, I was hooked. I remember thinking that if this drama is indicative of what's available, then I'm in. I had already been a fan of various British miniseries, and while I still love Vera and certain others, I was quite willing to make the transition over to the Asian drama universe after watching that very first K-drama. So, what are my reasons for watching Asian dramas and movies? I do have reasons, so let me convey some of them to you. I'm on the hunt for and take pleasure in a well-crafted story. I think of the Emily Dickinson poem, "Tell all the truth, but tell it slant. Success in circuit lies. Too bright for our infirm delight, the truth's superb surprise. As lightning to the children, eased with explanation kind, the truth must dazzle gradually, or every man be blind." A well-crafted story teaches me to know myself and others better, and teaches me how to live well, how to love better. And a well-crafted story does this gradually. As good stories, these dramas and movies provided a necessary outlet in a time of grieving, both after my dad's death and in the midst of caretaking for one of my children who's struggled with illness for 8 years now. So these stories have been good friends and companions, and I've been comforted and helped in the healing process and challenged at times too. In short, there seems to be a cornucopia of satisfying storytelling offered in the Asian drama and movie world. As a poet, I am encouraged and stimulated by the fact that there is an appreciation for and even a reverence for poetry that comes across in many of the dramas and movies and in the languages themselves. Language immersion and cultural immersion is another reason I watch. I get to learn new words and learn about and appreciate other cultures and landscapes. Laughter is no small reason for my viewing habits. I've appreciated the sense of humor presented, at times quirky, zany, and let's not take ourselves too seriously here. A deeper, more meaningful love relationship is often portrayed with intentional pacing. In the typical 16-episode K-drama, for example, you usually get halfway through before you get hands held or a kiss or a confession of love. I like that the dramas take their time in developing a solid, interesting, complex relationship. Those are just some of my reasons for choosing the particular Asian drama and movie content focus in this gallery. Last of all, in this overview is the general structure and format for each movie or drama review. I will be providing a brief analysis, certainly by no means exhaustive or the ultimate word on any of the art offered here. Just like in a museum, a painting may have a brief word of explanation or analytic guide for appreciation posted next to it on the wall, I, as curator, will be offering my limited perspective on the items I place in the gallery. We all have a worldview or lens through which we view the world. Because I am a Christian, that is the lens through which I view and analyze movies and dramas. At times, I am going to offer an overtly Christian interpretation. I certainly intend no offense to my audience. I hope we can find common ground together as we search for whatever is true and lovesome. Now, it's important to note that my assumption will be that you've already seen the movie or drama and wish to hear an analysis, or that you are interested in a recommendation for something you haven't seen, but that you are okay with some spoilers. I will do my best to avoid major spoilers, but I make no promises to do this perfectly. There will be spoilers. Each analysis will generally be in 3 parts with a theme quote, a series of theme images, and some theme music. So that's the general structure. That's it. You've endured to the end. Thanks again for stopping by, and now on to the movies and dramas. I've got a favorite K-drama I'm in the middle of rewatching, so see ya.